Hello, hello there. My name is Juan Frescas Olivas, and this is my final evidence for Advances in English 3 Going Global. Hello. First and foremost, what does globalization mean? Well, globalization, or going global, as I will refer for now, is an event in which companies or simply people start communicating with each other and forming relationships with companies or people from other countries or from international businesses in order to exchange communication, communicate, or improve themselves. If you are in an international uh, university like Tech Millennium, you probably have already heard this term. And if you work in an international company, you probably also already heard this term. And probably you are hearing a lot of projects on the news about globalization. But what are the pros and cons of simply communicating with people from another country? Well, in this presentation, I will let you know about the benefits and how to do it. Now that we know what does globalization and going global means, it is a very important question that one must ask: how can I be part of it? How can I be part of that global community? And that is a relatively easy question to answer. You see, thanks to a lot of technology we have at hand, it's very easy to companies to find international clients or find more companies to be allies with in another continent, in another country, in other parts of the world. So it's pretty easy if you are in an international company or an international university like Tech Millennium to find international events like study awards, uh, uh, office reunions, shareholder meetings, or even mixers in which you can form relationships with people from other countries. However, if you are not part of a university or a company, like I already said, there's always the option to use technology at your advantage. Right now, there are a lot of social applications that can help you find people from another country for relationships. Discord, Facebook, and Tandem are just an example of it. As long as you're willing to open up, there's always a possibility. And it's very important that you also embrace opportunities. Another aspect to take into consideration if you are going global is that you need a lot of values in order to, well, embrace globalization. Like I already mentioned, one of the most important parts of globalization is embracing opportunities to go global, to socialize with people from other countries and from other continents. In order to do so, you have to be open-minded. Not everyone is going to think like everyone is going to think exactly like your company does. So you have to always keep an open mind. Without it, globalization and exchange of culture is near impossible. That being said, you also need to be open to self-improve yourself. You do not know everything, and part of globalization is learning what you don't know and work on it. Otherwise, globalization is pointless. You also need to love how to learn. Like I said, you're going to learn a lot of things during globalization, aside from making relationships. And you have to be patient. Not everything is going to go as fast as you plan it. Not everything is going to work the way you want. And everything is going to take its time. So you have to be patient with all the events that are going to happen. Another aspect to take into consideration if you are going. That being said, there are also some values to call it, way to call it that you need to avoid. Like I mentioned before, you have to have an open mind and be ready to self-improve yourself if you want, or you want to globalize, or you're wishing to go global. In order to do so, you have to avoid values such as racism or judgment, which I don't consider values, but some people do, because you are not better than anyone else. You have the same value as everyone else. Part of globalizing is respecting everyone's culture and exchanging information and reaching mutual agreements between people, culture, and businesses. The only way to do so is to avoid racism and judgment. Another values are the value of being social, being open up, like I mentioned at the beginning. The way you can be part of the global community is opening yourself up to new opportunities and embracing them, especially when it comes to international opportunities like study boards, meeting people in mixers, meetings, parties, etc. And finally, you cannot act like as if you know everything. You cannot be proud, to say the least. You have to be open to new ideas. You have to assume that you don't know anything, even though you do know. If you believe you do know everything, you will end up learning nothing. Now that I have mentioned the requisites to become global, perhaps you're anxious to know why one should go global or embrace globalization. Wait, well, in a business point of view, it's very important to go global as globalization allow you to open your doors to clients and partners across the world, not only in your own country or in your own city. With the use of technology, it is possible to open your business into more areas and let people know about your products and services. Not only that, the technology that other people offer can help you develop better products and services or improve the ones you already have. So, from an economic point of view, globalization is going to open more doors. In a personal point of view, you can have more context and know more people around the globe in order to again have more job offers to develop more professionally in other countries, gain more experience from different problems around the world. However, it's also very important to mention that globalization from a governmental and a national point of view is also very important because, again, globalization and the technology that comes from it and all the advancements that come with it is going to open the door to improvements in life quality and, for example, health services, communication services, etc. Now that I have Again, that being said, there are a lot of not consequences, but rather concerns about globalization. And one, as an individual, can say that the most important concern that someone could have is that it requires a lot of time and a lot of money. Like I already mentioned, globalization requires a lot of patience because, well, it takes time and not many people have it. So if you want to go global, this may be a concern of you. And yes, you have to invest time, but again, it's worth it. The same goes with money. Like I mentioned before, you need to attend to a lot of places or embrace opportunities, but you also have to be ready to expend money, or rather than invest money, because it's gonna turn around and you're gonna get it back at some point. But for doing so, in order to go global, you have to put money on the line. For example, you need money to learn English and start going global, learn more languages, learn technology, open relationships, etc. So this is a very important concern that you have to take into consideration if you want to go global. But if you have the time and the money and you want to take the risk, it's going to be really positive if you go global. Again, that being said, there are a lot of... And now we have reached the end of this presentation. And I can only say as a conclusion that we live in a very particular time. Right now, it's very easy to get globalized and communicate with all around the world without even leaving our home or our desk. However, it's very important that we recognize the advantages of going global and that we embrace our differences in order to create a better society. Like I mentioned before, globalization has a lot of good advantages. However, they are not possible if we do not respect each other and if we do not work together. So right now is the perfect time to start working together and put our differences aside in order to reach a better goal and to reach a better life for all the members of the world. Thank you and goodbye. And now we